folks, we are so glad to be back with you. The analyst desk is preparing to hop back in for this delightful pick and ban phase.
Sig jumping the gun on the intro, but that's fine.
I was waiting. I heard a lot of silence and got really terrified.
It's almost as though there was music playing. Welcome back, folks. We are here for the second game. Option 12, 9 lives. Very dominating performance from 9 lives in this first game. See if Option 12 can bring it back as they switch over to the blue side. And now we will give it over to the analyst desk. Go ahead, Sig.
Let me bring that energy on back, y'all. I am super excited to talk to you about this game, too. And I'm going to learn where the mute button is on the screen so I can hear the music, too. Well, we had a walk-away game from non-lives versus Option 12. And we're going into pick and ban. We've seen some incredible analysis out of chat. Let's see your guys' picks and bans in chat as well. We are going to see the first ban coming out from Sigtal Eternal, banning for non-lives, and that is the Volley Bear. Very strong pick for Slackosaurus, highest win rate that he had this split. All right, we going to see the GP ban? Tell me, Soda, what's happening?
I hope so. I think 9 Lives has their strategy down for pick and ban. I think their side of things went very well. I didn't agree with some of the things that happened. Just the team comp didn't seem completely ideal to me, but obviously it was very functional. Option 12 does pull the trigger on that gangplank ban, and I think that's kind of necessary.
I agree. I would like to see... honestly, just from a viewer standpoint, I want to see Camille. I want to see a carry top lane. Make it exciting. GP's not that exciting to watch. We do see the Morg ban and the Master Yi ban coming across. Very standard stuff. Intimidating out of Option 12. Deserving of the ban. Samira ban coming across as well. Making sure that General Wally isn't able to get as far ahead as he did last time. Chat's already hyping. Teemo is open. Tell me, Infinite. We going to see this Teemo this time?
No. I do think this is a very odd situation for Eternal, though, because, yeah, they banned Gangplank. Yes, Camille is kind of who I think a lot of us feel Relexus might pick here, but they don't need to pick that anytime soon. They can save that for second rotation, and then if they're really worried about Poppy performing a lot better, they can ban that during the second phase.
Good call. We are going to see a fourth ban coming in as the Jin is picked away from General Wally. Very, very smart strategy there, but we are going to see his potentially see his Ezreal pick. Probably a highlight champion for him over the split. Very exciting to watch. Very different play style. Tell me about it, Nickel. What do you think? Or is Ezreal going to be as successful for General Wally compared to the Jin?
I think Ezreal's going to be successful for General Wally. He's just one of those players that has a lot of champs in his tool belt. Yeah. So I agree with trying to take away Jhin just so that they don't have to worry about that, but now you have to deal with an Ezreal. Did you make the right decision? That's the question that we're going to answer in a couple minutes.
Perhaps, and Ezreal also is enabled by the set support, so potential flex pick here, or it could be a victory lap for Slackosaurus. What are your thoughts, Infinite?
More than likely, this is just going back on Slackosaurus. We kind of have seen, especially from certain junglers, that even if they don't do amazing, as long as they don't do bad, they'll just keep picking the same person because they still have good impact for their teams. And Slackosaurus on set, he's one of those people. So.
Agree wholeheartedly. You take away that jungle item. That was the support KDA that he had. We do see a Nocturne coming across for Prowler, so unless it's some kind of spooky mid laner, folks, we're going to see a return to a traditional jungler. You can quit spamming it in chat. You did it. Malphite is coming across. Looks like that will be a Malphite top, but in the LCUS, Malphite is a support as well. We'll see if that pops up. Mordekaiser being picked away. They're not going to let anybody have success on that champion unless it's them. 9 Lives is guaranteeing that Mordekaiser skin is theirs. What do you think? Tell me, Soda, Mordekaiser top. Rolexus is already showing his carry potential. Is this something that we should be scared of from the Lord of Death?
I think it's possible that this Mordekaiser is going to be a real problem for option 12. It is most likely going to be the Malphite in the top lane, I would assume. I do like what option 12 has going on already. I would have preferred to see maybe the set pick instead of stealing away the Jhin. Not because the set or the Jhin was more impactful for 9 lives, but I just feel like the set is more useful because it is more flexible for them to steal it away and just throw it wherever they want.
I agree. I think I agree with Nine Lives that Lux and that Swain band deserved respect. It was very good performances from behind from these players, so worthy of a ban. We do see Knot and Thresh band, Icy Flip getting the respect the man deserves. After those hooks, you better take a step back. But we're going to hope that he can perform as well on Alistair. Mukau, could it be? Is Kinos disappointed already by the skin choice? You'll find out in a few minutes, folks. I know this. I know that this Alistair pick is going to make the lane play incredibly different, as you're not going to be relying on that hook engage that they were finding success on in the last match. Now we're going to be looking for some dynamic engages from this Alistair, where it's going to be you're not going to want a front to back team like this. So very dynamic change, very interesting to see. The Nico Ace, get your gold star. We are going to see that coming across, as well as a Braum support pick. Very good pick. Handsome Devil, personal favorite. Let's hop over to you, Infinite. We had talked about potential mid lane changes during the private time that we had while the casters casted the match. Is Nico more impactful, less impactful? Is this an all around better look for Gregosaurus?
I think she's more impactful than Lux, simply because one, her kit, in my opinion, is just better, and two, because of the other people that they've drafted. Combining her with something like Malphite, it's very strong. It's a very strong combo. On top of that, I am going to admit, though, I am a little disappointed. I know that Gregosaurus has been practicing a different champ, one that we talked about. I won't say who, because maybe spoilers or something for Game 3. But I still do think that this Nico is more impactful than Lux.
I can get with that, at least in team fights, most assuredly. Nickel, Braum, Alistair, pretty tanky dudes. What can we expect from this same AD on the opposite side? Is this going to be a more enabled option 12, or are they going to have to really fear the engage and peel that Alistair Ezreal provides?
We can finally bring Tink into this wonderful finals. So, because we got Braum and Alistar, as you just said. The interesting thing here, I think Icy Flip, it's a different playstyle for sure, but I think he has the aggressive mentality. At least he was showing that with his hooks last time, where he has the initiation, he has that mindset where he can initiate for this Ezreal. And I feel like that's going to be really impactful for the team fights as we get through here. On the other side, option 12, after having the Swain band away, I kind of like this Braum pick. I mean, we got some really good slows, lockdown if we get some hits on, and I believe that if we got Prowler on Nocturne, we're going to be seeing some interesting ganks coming down to the bot line. I wish I could speak the English language, folks. The bot lane. I'm too excited. I'm too hyped. But that's what I'm hoping here.
If you don't mind, Sigtal Lord, can I piggyback off that a little bit?
I will allow it.
All right, cool. So I like both these drafts a lot more than Game 1. Here's the issue I'm seeing. I think Option 12 definitely stepped up their draft this time around. However, and we've seen a comp like this before, 9 Lives drafted a keep General Wally safe team. It is, we're seeing in chat people saying blow up the Ezreal and kite away. How? I don't see how you can. Their whole team is so good at keeping Ezreal alive, who's so hard already to pin down.
No, I'm with you 100%. Soda, it sounded like you're getting ready to talk. Please.
I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that, Infinite. This Ezreal is going to be really hard to get to, but if Option 12 can get to that Ezreal, this fight, the damage goes all in favor of Option 12, because the only real damage you have left there is then the Mordekaiser and the set, I guess. But I just think with the Malphite Nocturne, you're going to be able to get onto that Ezreal somewhat reliably in these fights. I really like what Nine Lives did in identifying that option 12 doesn't really have that much front to back for team fights, and just saying, okay, we're going to pick 4 tanks and say walk into us. I like the fact that both teams have a lot more engaged tools than they did in the last game. I'm really interested to see how this one's going to play out.
I think it's going to be one heck of a match, and folks, we hope you stick around with us. Make sure you hit that follow button, but I'm going to follow Kinos on into the match. Please join me. Kinos.
Thanks, Sig. All right, so here we go. We've heard the analysts. Let's analyze some of these skins once the game opens up here.
Riot, fix your client.
Gotta say, Kenos, you're probably pretty happy with the team comps at least.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't hate them. I don't like this Birdo skin.
Oh no, Birdio. Oh no.
And Project Jin against Birdo, that's going to be an option 12 skin win there. That's not even a question. Why are we still talking about this?
Wait,
Yeah,
Bank
probably-
Robber Braum can't steal the skin contest?
Birdio is the bane of Kenos' existence, I think. So.
It's the most common bane of my existence, at least. But yeah.
So Lucky, what did you think about these comps?
I definitely think it's interesting. I wish that they could have gotten a Maokai instead of a Malphite, just because I think that could have sustained better and given Relexus less of a lead in the top lane. But I definitely think this is going to be more of a brawly style than the last game, where things just got ahead in the lane phase.
I've got 2 points to mention. I don't know if I heard the analyst desk bring up. The first one is that we did have an Ezreal ban game 1. So the fact that they decided to pick up the Jhin and let Wally get his hands on the Ezreal is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, well, they traded it out for the Gangplank ban, so
Right.
it was pick your poison there essentially.
And then the second note is that game 2, I believe it was, the last time these two teams met each other, Relexus carried a comeback on the back of Mordekaiser. So seeing if that happens again will be very interesting.
When this game goes to game 3, I'd be interested to see if they actually drop the Volibear ban, just because Slack has shown that his set is comparable to the Volibear. So are you really gaining a whole lot of value with that ban?
I didn't see... I mean, obviously Slackosaurus is doing well with the set. There is no question on that. But at the same time, I hadn't really noticed him being as active as he is with the Volibear in the early game. You know, he was showing up and all that good stuff, but he wasn't as much of a terror, I feel, until, like, 5 or 6 minutes. So that could be what they're considering going forward here, is how much do you want a big polar bear up in your top lane?
I think that's a great point, though, Lucky. Is is the drop off between the Volibear and the set lesser than if you were to be able to take away both Ezreal and Gangplank?
Yeah, and again, it's one of the problems with option 12 is finding itself in, is what do you ban against 9 lives?
It's tough, yeah. You only get so many.
Well, and if with so many OPs, when does Riot give us 20 bans? Come on.
We had to wait a long time to even get to 10. It wasn't that long ago there was still only 6, if I'm not mistaken, so...
Hey, maybe they'll make it 0 at some point. There we go.
Oh boy, please no.
But then everyone gets to play what they want. It's
Greatbeard of
inviting.
Odin would get to play as a Collie.
Every
Shout
game.
out, Greatbeard of Odin.
Every game would just be a Nivea, a Kali, Gangplank. Wonderful. Master Yi. Everyone's here.
So it'll be
It does
interesting
sound like a
in this
horrible
mid
world.
lane. In this mid lane, you do have a ranged versus melee matchup. As a top laner, Lucky, how do you approach this as a laner playing into this melee versus range situation? Do you just have to accept that you're going to be down a little bit of CS? Have to temper your greed?
Not necessarily. You can leverage your CC abilities to make them play the space as well, and then be able to farm with minimal harass. So you can definitely see the Galio get on top of this Nico here. So the Galio and Nico both have to play with caution despite the attack range disparity.
Worth noting that Eternal is down in CS once again. Relexus being a big bully. Lack of mana helping with that as well, of course. No mana champs against mana champs can always be difficult.
Yeah, and I think we don't see this come down to CS. I mean, we know Eternal's going to be down 60 CS come team fight time, minimum. It comes down to whether he provides kills or not.
Mm-hmm.
So once this crests level 6, is he going to be able to just hide at turret and keep Relexus from getting those kills? That may determine this game.
Interesting little 2v2 going on over the Scuttle Crab up in the top side river. Worth noting that Relexus, he has allowed the wave to push against him, which will garner him a CS advantage, but it will mean that it'll be harder for him to join, as we have a jump in from Icy Flip in the bot lane. Good block from Elizabeth, though, just shutting off that engage immediately. Ignite was actually used by Queen Elizabeth down in the bot lane there. Not sure if that was a misclick, but that's a cooldown that will be not have to be navigated around for 9 lives for a couple minutes now.
Well, and it makes sense that Elizabeth would do this. She's actually one of our most aggressive supports ever. She is second in all-time damage per minute among supports in the history of the LCUS, so definitely makes sense.
Icy Flip goes in again. Good W combo from General Wally. That W hitbox was a little on the edge, but he somehow landed it and made that into a decent trade.
Relexus actually pretty low up in the top lane now. Good minion help there on it for Eternal's side.
And Sigtao Eternal, he's about a third of the way up to level 6, so at that point there's a little bit of kill pressure, but I would imagine Relexus is taking that into account. Probably just going to look to shove this wave and then back before the level 6s come through.
Yeah, speaking of... oh, go ahead.
I certainly hope he doesn't go for the kill pressure. I mean, he's playing for the team here. He's not playing for himself, given he's not trying to CS. So it definitely saving that ult and not going for kill pressure would be ideal.
And I was going to say, Prowler, we've seen his Nocturne in the past, really does not engage at all pre-6. So lack of jungle pressure here may become a factor as well, though maybe he's going to try something here in this mid lane.
I definitely expect him to. You've got to shut down this Galio rather than having him...
Oh, Trouble Source got caught trying to dash away. He will get feared. Psychosaurus on the way, but I don't think he'll get there on time. First blood for Prowler in the mid lane. And option 12, they've got an advantage in game 2.
Let's just face check this bush, why don't we? But Slack doesn't want it. Alright, so Prowler doing some rare early game pressure there.
Ult comes out from Relexus up in the top lane, but Sigtao Eternal has room to get back to his turret. Advantageous trade for Mordekaiser, but won't get a kill. Should be able to get lane control, though. The wave is pushing into him, so this could get rough for Sigtao Eternal here if Relexus is determined to freeze this here, which I believe he will be.
Definitely a misplay by Relexus, though. He needed to let that lane push out so he could get that kill. Now he has to wait on another ult to try and exert kill pressure.
Looks like there might be a call to collapse on Prowler here.
Yeah, they get the taunt down, but a good snare from Gregosaurus Rex. He does have the ultimate available as well. So 9 lives, they do need to respect that big-time potential game-changing ultimate. Everyone will back away, and the Mountain Drake will stay alive for now.
It's a very cute long-distance snare there by Pointy Ball. Didn't get anything done, but Jin reminding you he exists.
So far, most of the lane's pretty even except that top side. Marginal advantage for Gregosaurus in the mid lane, which you would expect given that Triplesaurus did have to go back to the fountain as a ghost not too long ago.
Looks like Prowler's going to hit 6 off of these jungle minions here. Yep.
But if you note the top lane, we have an exact experience value for these two players, so you're really seeing Eternal exerting his plan here.
Jump in! Gregosaurus could be in trouble. No, he is completely fine as Prowler says, I got you, my friend. He dashes in, gets him with the paranoia, sends him home scared for another kill for option 12.
Gregosaurus flashing for really no reason there, so got to keep an eye on that cooldown. Should be a first dragon, though.
The proactivity of option 12 here in this game, too, has really ratcheted up. compared to game one. They are really looking to be the ones setting the tempo now, after letting 9 Lives dictate things last game.
And they're keeping the top laners isolated in the top lane. You don't see Relexus having an opportunity to exert his lead on the rest of the map at this time.
Yeah, no teleport in there, which we might have seen if he was on that gangplank. Instead, focusing all the way up here. In fact, Eternal actually has an XP advantage, if only barely. Hitting 8 before that Mordekaiser.
That's the other thing that happens with Nocturne, is he turns off the lights, you know? So it's tougher for somebody like Relexus, and not just Relexus, but just in general, to join a fight because you don't have the immediate knowledge of exactly what's happening.
Hey, who turned off the lights? That's your Doctor Who reference for the day, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bot lane holding up very well for option 12 here. Icy Flip, we've seen him try to go in a couple times, but without really much profit.
Do have Gregosaurus teleporting into that mid lane. So there will be a teleport disadvantage once Trufflesaurus's cooldown is over. But both top laners still very much with their teleports and their game-changing ultimates. We'll see when they find themselves in a position to join the fight.
Looks like option 12 might be a bit disappointed with their bot lane here. Ezreal's definitely more of a scaling ADC, and you see the CS basically... Well, actually, Ezreal has a CS lead now after this wave.
Yeah, gold differential's not that great though, only 60. So it's not the end of the world, but yeah, I think they're going to be very scared of Ezreal in a few minutes.
Well, and Jhin is supposed to be a lane bully, so you would have liked to see him up at least 15 CS or so, based upon the end of the laning phase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hard to be a bully though when you have that passive support ability from someone as big and tanky as the Alistar though.
I don't think you have to play that scared, though, when you have the Braum, who can deflect the vast majority of Ezreal's damage by nullifying that damage amplifier.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I don't disagree.
Now, a big thing that's going on in this game is that Prowler is online. We've talked about him all split, and honestly for a couple splits for those of y'all who have been here for a while. This guy, when he takes off, he takes off. When he doesn't take off, his teams tend to struggle. And this game, he is online. 2-0-0, he's got that Devour finished. He had it finished a couple minutes ago, actually, already. So, gonna be a scary Nocturne that 9 Lives is gonna have to deal with.
Very interested to see who's gonna end up taking this Herald here. Ezreal ult clips Eternal, but doesn't get too much else done.
Gregosaurus walking in, that's a good Nico ult, but Relexus will ult Gregosaurus back. So they're in the Death Realm together. There goes Prowler, but he gets taunted up and taken down. That's a huge shutdown. Trufflesaurus Rex will drop as well, but meanwhile, it's all, well, other than the 1 kill on Trufflesaurus Rex, that's all in the favor of 9 Lives. That's a huge kill that they got onto Prowler there.
Oh, Ezreal gets caught here a little bit. Does have his buddy bull though, so he should be fine. Jhin ult. See what happens.
Yeah, Icy Flip just needs to stand in front of this here. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. And Rip Herald in the top lane, so the top lane is about to have a very exacerbated advantage.
Yep, we're seeing 9 Lives just from that one team fight. Suddenly the whole game switches over for them. I do like this attempted little push here at mid lane pressure, but they've got to deal with this top lane force. Looks as though... Alright, so just go punch him. There you go. Alright. So first turret does go over to 9 Lives. And Dragon will be up in 50 seconds.
And first one went over to option 12. I would think that neither team will feel that desperate for this second one.
See what Prowler can get done here. Should be able to get at least 1 or 2 plates. Not a great response at his presence. To have Icy Flip coming to try to respond here.
And we do see the Mordekaiser actually walking to Dragon, so looking to exert that 2k gold lead on the fight rather than being isolated in the top lane.
Yeah, we'll see what the Malphite decides to do. Does have teleport available. Ult should be up 10 seconds. So the ult will be available for a teleport play, but everyone is kind of scattering all over the place. Prowler desperately rushing to turret to not get caught out early.
And Eternal does have teleport available, so he can join this. Snare onto Trufflesaurus early. A second snare comes down from Pointy Ball, but I mean that's a very tanky Galio. You're not going to chunk him out too much here. He will still claim that pink ward that he was after initially. And Sig Tower Eternal, let's see, he can teleport to the bottom lane minions. There is a ward in the pit as well, but it'll just be a clean take for 9 lives. Glacial Fisher comes out. They're trying to get the fighter. Prowler to the backline. Looking for General Wally. Can they protect him? They do. General Wally kites it out, and Prowler's in the Death Realm. He's going to go down, and that's the trickiness of that Mordekaiser ultimate. Even if you get in, there's a big ult from Sig Tower Eternal, actually. Interrupt my thought process. Why don't you? Queen Elizabeth in the front line, trying to survive against this big Mordekaiser. She doesn't quite have the tankiness, and Sig Tower Eternal might drop as well. Gets hit by the solo Q damage. General Wally goes forward now. He stayed alive. He finished the fight, and 9 lives comes out on top again.
That's got to be very disheartening. I mean, there seemed to be a little bit of communication problems there as Eternal went in and no one else really was able to, was a second, you know, they were a second behind him, let's put it that way. But it looked as though they had a big lead there, but we saw the durability of Mordekaiser come into play, and then how scary Wally is on the cleanup.
Yeah, and Wally had his flash that entire time as well, I believe, so he was able to survive that dive from Prowler. Relexis props for pulling him into the Death Realm, obviously. And I believe it was Arcane Soda or maybe Sigtao Infinite who called it out on the analyst desk. It's going to be really hard to get onto this Ezreal. Not just because of the Galio and the Alistar, which you obviously think about, but even if you have somebody like the Nocturne who can jump onto him, Relexis can just say, nope, you fight me. You don't get to fight General Wally. You're fighting me now, and he's going to be fine.
How many wards can Icy Flip and the rest of option or 9 lives place on this bottom bush here in mid lane? I see 4. Can we get 5? Just, you know, vision for days. Just get it all taken care of. Nice route there. Alright, Pointy Ball versus Relexis currently in the bot lane. The fight no one knew we wanted, but everyone wanted to see. Looks like Relexis kind of fell back there for a minute.
So at this point, 9 lives, they've extended out to about a 2,500 gold lead. Not nearly the advantage that they had last game, just about half of it, actually. But given that Option 12 started this game so much better as they jump in onto Trufflesaurus, both big ultimates come in, and I don't think the Galio has the tankiness to survive this. Good pick in the top lane by Option 12.
Looks like they might get this turret as well. There's a lot of damage here.
That should slice into that gold lead quite a bit, as it looks like 9 lives, they might try to make a cross-map play onto Pointy Ball. He should probably respect this and just back away from this turret right now, as he's got both of the big beefy dudes right in his face. Yeah, no one's even coming to help, actually. I feel like someone should have started rotating from mid if Pointy Ball wanted to hold this. He will just back off.
I believe that was Option 12's first turret in 2 games. So, good for really all over the place, better on the board here.
Nice juke from Slackosaurus on the Deadly Flourish, but didn't quite have the range to then land that. That's a good teleport, actually. It might look unnecessary in a casual sense, but Slackosaurus might have taken a couple turret shots there if that minion doesn't kept alive by that teleport.
Alright, so 4 people bot lane. Still no rotation from 12.
Good flash by Queen Elizabeth. You really don't want to fight this with the Mordekaiser gold lead down there.
Yeah, just playing it extra safe. You know, game like this, you're 1 game down already. Playing it safe is where you want to be. Prowler should pick up this Herald as well.
We're really seeing the old pro lane swap meta here, where the Option 12 is taking every opportunity to play away from the Mordekaiser. Lane swap all the gold on the other side.
Seems like the proper way to do it, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, taking out the gold lead here again. 2,300 lead for Relexis. So basically the entire gold lead over on Relexis right now.
And we talked about it earlier when these two teams played in the regular season. In game 2 of that season, or that split, we saw Rolexis just hard carry on this Mordekaiser. Could be on his way to a sequel.
Well, they'll take down their second turret, so 2 turrets apiece.
But the longer we go, the less that 2k gold lead on Rolexis matters. So I think we have the long game being played here by 012 to even that up.
A much more effective Herald as well. Manages to get 1.5 turrets, 1 3/4 turrets. But
Yeah, that was a really good Herald.
Dragon is here. So now we see if 12 falls behind in these Dragon Pit fights yet again.
I would
And Lucky,
actually
if you're
give
option
this
12,
one
do
up.
you even fight this? Yeah, do you
No,
even
I
fight
would
this
give
if
this
you're option
up.
12? I agree.
Teleport just came up, so Malphite is coming. Not in the trickiest position in the world. Him coming in from behind might have been nice.
And they do have a ward in that bottom tri-brush. So they will see him coming if he looks for a flank. He is, so they know he's coming. Rolexis, General Wally, immediately they start to shade that way. In goes Prowler. Look at the seal. He got it. The Prince of Thieves strikes again. And now how the fight go? Slackosaurus is going very low, but he's able to stay alive. Just barely. Icy Flip is the first to drop in the fight. Prowler's really low, but they get the double kill. Trufflesaurus is gone. Rolexis and General Wally, though. Can you take down the main carries of 9 lives? It's a triple kill for General Wally. Queen of Visitors barely stays alive, but not quite. General Wally gets snared up by Gregosaurus. Can he stay alive? Gregosaurus, he doesn't have any cooldowns left. Rolexis is there to finish things off. A triple kill coming back from the Mordekaiser. It's a 4 for 3 in an absolute chaotic fight. But Prowler did get the smite down for option 12.
And we saw Pointy going for a Wild Turtle Classic, flashing forward to finish off a kill, which he got, but it put him in a vulnerable position to be taken out by Wally and Rolexis.
Yeah, there is, like, I mean, Mordekaiser's durability can just not be understated. So many, both of these dragon fights that we have had, Mordekaiser looks as though he's on his last legs, and then at the end of the fight, he's at half health again.
Absolutely. We need to see an Executioner's Calling coming in here quickly.
Oh, look at this. Oh, okay. For a moment, I thought 9 lives were hitting the Baron. I was going to say, that is extremely ambitious.
Well, they kind of want to make option 12 think they are.
Icy Flip could be in trouble here. I think he messed up his WQ combo because he just queued in place. So I think he lost vision or something of the W right as he tried to do it. Might not have been a great idea anyways. So 9 lives, they will just walk away. And option 12 will be able to get back control of the Baron Pit, other than the Scuttle Crab. Slackosaurus gets spotted out. Sorry, go ahead, Lucky.
So despite our analysis, Jeff, it actually looks like 12 came out ahead in that fight. I mean, only going down 300 gold and getting a second dragon, I'd definitely take that if I was 12.
Absolutely, and you didn't lose anything on the back end as well. So yeah, that smite from Prowler coming through essentially, you know, it's one of those situations where it's a slight win for option 12. If that smite doesn't go Prowler's way, then it's a much bigger win for 9 lives, though, in my opinion.
And I think we're seeing another win here with Mord staying grouped, actually, because while he is still highest XP in the game, all of the XP is being shared now, and he's not getting further ahead.
Big Tower Eternal, he's looking for the ultimate onto Slackosaurus, but now in goes everybody. It's 2 fights. Ponyball takes down Icy Flip on one side, but General Wally once again has survived the dive of Prowler on the other. Now, how can they run this Ezreal down? The curtain call is just keeping him from being able to fire back. Rolexis on the other side. Can he get it done? Not quite. It's a 4 for 1 for option 12. A brilliant fight from the number 2 seed coming through here, but they are pretty low, and General Wally is alive. We've seen the Baron steals come from this man before. How gutsy are option 12 going to be? It looks like they're bold.
They're insane. This is the worst thing they could do. They need to go back right now.
I wonder if they know that
I
Trufflesaurus has
100%
teleport available as well. Because Trufflesaurus can join this. He's alive. There's the shutdown onto Prowler. That's a big kill. General Wally, he does get rooted up. And Elizabeth, oh my goodness, General Wally might just feast on this Trufflesaurus from behind. There's another kill. And now it's going to be 9 lives, Baron. How the turntables, in the words of Michael Scott.
Can I just say, what the hell was that?
We all
You
saw it
can
coming,
repeat it
for sure.
about 30 times.
I mean, my God, you have no... You take a lead. You take a strong, decisive positional lead. but their best player is still alive, and you have no health.
Agreed. I'm with you on this one, Kenos. That was extremely reckless and punished accordingly.
And in tribute to Relexus's Gangplank, we can say one less bottle of throw on the wall. Taking it from a pirate perspective.
If I wasn't running the camera, I'd just walk away at this point. My god, what the hell was that?
Alright, we're going directed camera the rest of the way, everybody.
Directed
Sounds
camera,
like.
and Kenos will be under the table.
Well, you were promised troll, and you got troll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, yeah. In all seriousness, just, you know, we've all been there. At least I think we all have been, where you win a fight, you lost game one, you're just looking for some positive energy. You win that fight the way you did, and somebody just says Baron. And everyone says, okay, we can do it. And then you know, about 10 seconds in, you say, wait, can we do this, guys? Guys, is this a good idea? Everyone sort of just, like, is silent for 5 seconds, and then you all die.
Not against a full health Ezreal, though.
It's...
Okay.
I don't know.
Whatever. Moving on. Let's pretend that didn't happen, and let's watch this dragon fight.
And now this is a key drink still for option 12, because if Prowler can take this one away, all of a sudden you're on soul point. Ponyball is just getting annihilated by Relexus though in the Death Realm, and Prowler might die as well. So if that guy goes down, there will be no Smite Seal. Slackosaurus takes down his counterpart, and all of a sudden it looks like one-way traffic on this street that could lead to a 9 lives 2-0 advantage. Infernal Drake will go down, big time death timers, and I think we'll see a couple turrets drop on the back end of this one as well.
Let's take the next 30 seconds and talk about decision making. Okay? Let's pretend the Baron didn't happen. Alright? You look at the game that you're in, there were 5k gold down, give or take. You're up a dragon. Let him get the damn dragon. You know?
I'm with you again. I'm with you again.
You're on your back foot. They have this mysterious purple circle at their feet because the Baron thing did not happen in this scenario. And, you know, let the momentum happen. Go try to take something somewhere else. Push out your lanes. Maybe get bottom turret. See if somebody's going to try to collapse down and ambush them there.
And that was... I didn't exactly see how the positioning started, but the fact that Relexus was able to get into a situation where he could just bring Pointy Ball into the Death Realm with him, that it was just a lost fight immediately. Because if you're option 12, you have to find a way to keep Mordekaiser away from your Jhin, from being able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and it was definitely the Jhin stepping forward to get harass in that situation, and I think you can't do that when you're facing a Mordekaiser.
All right.
So right now, if you're option 12, what is your plan? What is your plan right now? Everything has gone wrong since that one fight around Wraiths about 4 minutes ago.
I'll let Gotta Get Lucky take that.
I think you need to take the opposite approach of what you've been doing and just chill. Wait for that dragon point to come up. See what you can do to let time narrow this lead, because you're not narrowing it by just constantly taking every fight.
I do like the Prowler split push.
I was just about to talk about that. This is something that we've seen him do in the past, but from what I've seen, this is what happens when things aren't going well for option 12. It's almost just a little bit of acceptance that, okay, you know, our strongest, most fed member is just going to go do his own thing, but the problem is what's happening in the base right now, which is everyone else just gets run over. Now Prowler's going to come from the backside and maybe kill Trufflesaurus, that's fine, but you know, you still lost the fight very handily because your strongest member wasn't there. Yeah,
I mean, I liked the split pushing until he kept going. Like, I thought you get the one turret, you turn around and come back. Right? Especially when you have a character like Nocturne who can swoop in. But because he decided to push up a little bit, maybe he thought his team was going to play a little bit more defensively, but I mean, that's as defensive as you can basically play. And, you know, I mean, 9 Lives has just taken the last 5 minutes and they're going to put it on their wall and say, see, kids, this is what I did. This is where I was when these last 5 minutes happened.
And you gotta shout it out, General Wally, 5-0-12 now, having to navigate that Nocturne, the Malphite ultimate, which hasn't really been aimed at him directly so far, from what I've seen. But it's still something as an AD carry that you just always have to be aware of. A little extra stress in your life, as if anyone needed that. So to be 5-0-12 at this point, it's definitely a testament to this guy on this champion.
And I mean, I think that if you're option 12, I mean, obviously this is the last couple of minutes have been disheartening, but I think they should take solace in the fact that they were doing a very good job up until that point. So a much, let's say, happier game 2 for them. And so they just need to have a little bit better decision making, and I think that if this does not end up as a victory for them, they, you know, a similar plan in game 3 would not be the worst thing in the world. But
yeah, they've got some notes. Sorry, go ahead, Lucky.
I would like to see this Malphite building a bit more health or some sort of item to scale what little health or resistances he does have. I mean, there's definitely some items out there that could give him that opportunity rather than building a QSS.
Yeah, that is an interesting... I guess they're afraid of Relexus taking him to the Death Realm so that he can't ult multiple people, but I do think that that's not an efficient use of gold. Yeah. That's 1,300 gold. Yeah, if you're Pointy Ball or even Prowler, I understand buying that, but I don't think it's worth it on the Malphite. And we may have a trade of objectives here. Option 12, they go right to the Baron as the Dragon spawns. They do it pretty fast with the Devourer on Prowler, and I don't know if 9 Lives is going to get here on time. Here comes the ult from Ezreal, so they see it happening. Icy Flip's going to jump in, and then we'll have the Galio ult on top of it, I would imagine, or maybe it's going to be on top of Slackosaurus. Where is it? The Nocturne ult turns off the lights, but he may just die as he goes in. Curtain call from the backside, but will it be curtains for option 12 in this fight? Here comes the heroic entrance. Down going Queasel there, and Pointy Ball will fall as well. Icy Flip is the stake sacrifice on the cow. It doesn't matter. The mid lane is open, and 9 Lives gonna cruise to 2-0.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Man, I liked the idea from option 12. I mean, you assume that they're gonna run Dragon, so maybe you go Baron, but 9 Lives, they were wise to it. They scouted it out just in time, and they're on championship point in Split 6.
Alright, I need a palate cleanser or something after that. Anyone want to go play Legends of Runeterra for an hour and then come back? Or StarCraft?
I think
Are we doing halftime?
I think you just need to kick me for my puns and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Commercial break. Alright, so we'll check out some graphs really quickly here and then hop over to the analyst desk. You can see how even the game was for a while there. Great damage coming out of both ADCs. Relexus, of course, doing very well on that Mordekaiser, but Prowler doing great on the Nocturne. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the best ults toward the end, but, you know, desperate times, desperate measures. Vision score as well, we will pop over on that. You know, once again, bot lane, seeing Icy Flip just excel at that. Alright, so we will head over to the analyst desk now. Alright, analyst desk, we are here. Tell us what happened, tell us what needs to be different. All yours, Sig.
Well, thank you so much, Kenosa. Excellent casting of this fan favorite non-lives versus the eager option 12 as they take it to game 2, and we'll discuss that in depth. But first, I do want to remind everyone, please, if you get the opportunity, hit the sub button. We appreciate it. Your donations, your subs are what keep this channel open. Thank you. Now, moving forward, let's talk about some pretty incredible fights out of this now freshly motivated option 12, who showed that they're not going to give up easily. And after one, perhaps one mismanaged Baron fight, we did see non-lives pull ahead and win the game. I want to talk first about this top lane matchup, where I do believe that Sigtal Eternal did a great job managing playing from the weak side in top. Let's head to you, Soda. What happened top side? Was this a better matchup for Eternal?
I think so. And it's not because he played bad on Poppy or anything. It's just Malphite has an easier time being super impactful in team fights when he's as far behind as he has been these past 2 games. And it's no fault of his. He's kind of playing against bully champions, and I think that's kind of the strategy that they want him on, these champions that are just impactful for the team fights later. And he's been doing great at managing what he needs to do.
Agree wholeheartedly. And he had some really impactful ultimates, bringing the mountain down on this back line and multiple times killing tanks out of the blue. So incredible work out of him. Now let's talk a little bit about this jungle matchup. Prowler and Slackosaurus. Slack bringing it back on this B side with the set. 5, 3, and 13 with 6, 7, 4 Prowler. Prowler activating it multiple times in that game with some real clutch ultimates. Now, I want to look at this mid lane matchup. Gregosaurus Rex and the Trufflesaurus. Very different fighting styles this time with the Nico into the Galio. Infinite, tell me, were things more slided towards Gregosaurus this time, or did Truffle maintain his lead the entire time? I don't think the statistics point to that.
Yeah, no, I think that this went better for Gregosaurus, but I don't think they drafted against each other. They picked things to fit into their comps, and they both picked very well. The Nico, I guess he hurt us. He chose something that, in my opinion, has a lot more team impact, especially with the type of comp. And because of his ults, combined with some others, some of those team fights were so clean, and they're able to do a lot better because of that. So,
I agree, definitely, and I think that the assist per team numbers that we're looking at here, where it's 16 kills and 40 assists versus 27 kills and 71 assists, definitely show how these team fights were managed by both teams, and very, very, very difficult to manage this player, General Wally, who's having a standout night. This Ezreal twice in this game, showing his incredible skill, managing to stop that Baron from option 12, and during these team fights at Dragons, peel off. Icy Flip did incredibly well. Eliza Bear showing very, very commanding performance, mitigating sending out a whole lot of CC. Nickel, tell me about this bot lane matchup.
Bot lane matchup, I think we hit it pretty well on the head, and I think that we see Option 12 being a little bit more comfortable with their picks here, where they were actually able to enable themselves to do something. And I don't want to knock them too much, even with the last game, but Queen Lizbear was able to do some pretty good slows on everyone. You saw everyone on 9 Lives just couldn't get out of anything from there. And on the flip side, we got Icy Flip, pun intended, that, like I said, he was pretty aggressive in that matchup, just putting in foot forward, bashing into the front lines there, and then General Wally just hanging in the back line as he does. And as you said, Sig, I don't want to steal your thunder, but he did some amazing plays with that Ezreal the last game and still standing out with no deaths.
Oh yeah, and you can't steal my thunder, homie. I'm the whole goddamn storm. Now, folks, don't get it twisted. We're going to Game 3, and things look incredibly one-sided. But we saw Option 12 make some really large adjustments to their teamfight strategies and their approach to objective control. I think we're able to say that this team is evolving over the course of this match. And as we go into Game 3, I would like to focus not exactly on what 9 Lives can do different, as their performance has been very commanding, and they have led from mid-game forward both sets. I don't feel like we'd have much dynamic conversation there, so I'm going to point us towards the Option 12 side. Very quick, in 15 seconds or less, tell me what we can look for out of Option 12 to change to meet this bully top lane, supportive mid lane, hyper carry bot lane experience from 9 Lives. Let's start with you, Soda.
I think Option 12 runs this team back. Maybe you change the Jhin out to something else like an Ashe. I think they looked very comfortable, and they just had a couple misplays as a team in the middle of the game that kind of got rid of their lead. I think you run it back, they clean up those mistakes, and take the game.
Agree more. I think the Ashe would be very impactful. I know someone that shares your opinion. Infinite, you had talked in depth with us in between games about how much you valued the Ashe pick here. Do you care to elucidate on that a little bit more and give me some additional feedback on this option 12 strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that Ponyball did an amazing job with Jhin. There's no question there. However, Ashe combined with Braum, their kits just work so well together. You're going to get a lot more benefit out of Braum's passive. And she has something that Jhin doesn't. She has another form of engage with her ult. It would have just worked a lot better, in my opinion. He could have popped off, probably even held more weight in those fights. But honestly, even if they don't want to make that change, if they think the Jin's fine, the only thing they needed to learn to win that game, take your wins and leave. When you've won, back out and know when to back out and just reset.
I agree. Sometimes the best way to engage later is to disengage right now. So, valid input. Now for the opinion I want to hear the most. Nickel, what does option 12 do differently to turn the tide of this, to get the reverse sweep?
I don't want to echo what's been said before, but I'm going to do it anyway. I feel like that we've seen option 12 evolve in this matchup now that we got rid of the joke jungle and playing a little bit more seriously this time. We've seen what they're capable of. We don't need to change it much anymore. We just need them to be enabled to actually commit to what they need to do. Because as we saw the game go further and further, we saw Prowler doing some dives that were a little bit questionable, or just some team fights that didn't go their way. So I think that we're getting option 12 a little bit more comfortable as the night goes on. We just need to see them commit a little bit more into team fights, commit a little bit more aggressive. Aggressive? Is that a word? Aggressive. And then we will see option 12 hopefully get a W.
Hope so too. I want a competitive game 3. Now I want to get some feedback from the most important analyst of all. That's Chat. Our 5th analyst tonight, Chat. We've got some strong opinions. Nami says one more. Definitely rooting for this non-live squad. We do see lots of people singing the praises of General Wally. The Knowles. We do see lots of people cheering for for non-lives. Where you at, option 12 fans? Come on, y'all. This is a storied team. They champions. They wanted to make another comeback. Sing them some praises. Give them some love. I want to give some love to the Twitch Prime sub we did receive, Alzarius 1128. Thank you so much. We appreciate your love. But we are excited to hear more from our analyst desk, but I want to throw it back to Kenos so we can hop onto this game 3. Kenos, are you with me?
Yes, I am, and we will be heading into that game 3 very shortly. As you said, 9 lives dominating option 12 has some work to do, both winning back the audience and winning some games. So don't go anywhere. We will see game 3 in just a few moments.